Welcome to the Supportive Ambition, where we celebrate creativity, ambition, and the journey of bringing big ideas to life. I'm your host, Danny, and each week I'll introduce you to inspiring voices from all walks of life. Artists, innovators, and dreamers who are pushing boundaries and redefining what's possible. This podcast is about the power of support, shared stories, and the belief that we're all stronger when we lift each other up. Thanks for joining us on this journey. Let's dive in. Hello, everyone. Today on The Supportive Ambition, we're thrilled to welcome Carmynn Bradley, a singer-songwriter whose talents extend far beyond melodies.
Sometimes we have to say goodbye. Sometimes we have to take the good and leave the bad. Just leave everyone behind. Leave everyone behind.
She's a comedian, storyteller, and a vibrant presence whose performances effortlessly blend humor, heartfelt honesty, and artistic expression. Carmynn's journey is one of creativity, connection, and empowerment, inviting audiences into a space of shared laughter and authentic storytelling. Let's dive into her creative world. Welcome, Carmynn, to the Supportive Ambition.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's great to speak with you again. I know we connected about a week or so ago on a short film set, which is great, but didn't really get to learn too much about you. It was almost like a whirlwind. So I saw that you had many other creative endeavors besides acting. So let's touch base on those. So you have an eclectic mix of music, comedy, and storytelling. Which of these creative outlets came first in your life, and how did the others naturally emerge?
Yeah, good question. And they did kind of naturally emerge, which just like has been blowing my mind continuously. But singing came first. I've been singing since I was a kid. I used to write music on the back of jet skis and just sing loud out to the gods. And I didn't really remember that until I started singing. I was actually teaching high school when I started to pursue singing, and I just was meeting people that were doing it professionally and just realizing that they were humans and I was a human, and so therefore if I wanted to do it I could do it too. And then it's just been a journey since there. Singing led to acting school led to comedy, which was just a beautiful discovery of mine. When I talk to other comedians, I always just tell them I found out I was a comedian, and that's been really really fun. Yeah.
Did you say writing music on the back of a jet ski?
Yeah, I don't know why that memory stands out to me when I reflect on my journey as a singer, but when I was a little kid, we used to go to the lake a lot.
Okay.
And I'd just be on the back of jet skis, and it was really, really loud, and I knew that the person driving couldn't hear me. So I would just write melodies and just sing them out loud about what I was doing, and I don't remember any of them, but I just remember the feeling of it. And it inspires me because I just think about how young I was when I was doing it then. And so I'm oh, this is a natural thing for me,
Mm-hmm. That's cool. So very, very James Taylor-esque, right? Just singing, I'm on back of the jet ski, just, what
yeah,
you're
narrating my life. Yeah.
So as a singer-songwriter then, what inspires your songwriting the most as you're going forward? Was it more personal experiences, observing others, or something else entirely?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think it's mostly personal. I've talked about how my creative endeavors are almost selfish in a way. I went from being solely in the helping professions to doing a little bit of both. And the creative world I think it's evolving in a way. It's about giving back, but it's really mostly about me, and it's about my own expression. And so my songs are about life lessons that I've learned that I do think apply to everybody. But in the moment when I'm writing them, it's about me. It's about what I've learned. It's about what I've experienced. And some songs are very thematic. I used to write a lot, like thousands of words a day, like typing, handwriting.
Oh, wow.
I still journal a lot. I wanted to be an author, but songwriting makes more sense for me. It's kind of where writing has led. Um, but so because sometimes a song is rooted in emotion, like I'll just feel an emotion, I grab my guitar and I play it out, and then the words kind of follow. And it
Okay.
was really when I found the guitar that I found like the missing link for songwriting for me. It just like from there it just like took off. It was like I just needed the instrument to support the melodies that were in my head or the emotions that were in my body, you know.
That's amazing. That's really cool that you found that way to get it out of your head. I know I struggle with that a lot because I have all this stuff in my head and it's just like, how do I let it out? What's the best way? And maybe I need to take up the guitar to help that.
Yeah. Highly recommend.
Now, so you stumbled from singing songwriting, you went to acting, and you
Yeah.
stumbled into comedy. Well, I shouldn't say stumbled. You discovered that you were, I guess, naturally comedic. You have this comedic timing, which is not often inherent in most people. So I'm just glad that you discovered that. But I guess where I'm trying to go with this is that comedy often talks openly about things we might otherwise avoid, right? So are there
Yeah.
any themes or messages that you like to explore through your humor?
Yeah, definitely. And that's another thing where if I like look back, I can find evidence of this already, like mostly a little bit later, like starting around in high school. Like
Okay.
I was kind of like, like the black sheep in the family that noticed things that other people didn't notice. And I started public speaking when I went to college, and I loved public speaking. And I thought that I still think that I will do that, to touch on some of the subjects that I do in comedy. But comedy is just, I think it's more accessible to talk about things like mental health in comedy because people laugh about it. So they're hearing stuff that I'm saying, but it's in a more accessible way because I'm presenting it in a way that's more digestible. But it's not that I'm like intentionally, I'm writing a set about mental health. It just kind of happens. Um, but that's like a lot of what like my comedy character is, like a little off her rocker, which I am in real life too, but I like take it to the extreme. And he's like, I know, I met you for a few days, I already know. But yeah, mental health is kind of the big thing that I like touch on, and I'm very passionate about that and about healing and just about people being able to be honest and vulnerable and raw about that. And so, yeah, you're right. Like when I found comedy, I was just like, people are just saying shit, and I want to do that too. And so it's great. Yeah, it's healing and it's fun, and it really fits like my values. Like I value honesty, I value authenticity and vulnerability, and I value being able to speak about the things that people hide inside, So
Yeah.
it's a beautiful art form.
And I think you're right. And I think with the comedic platform, it allows people to let down their guard a little bit and laugh about this stuff, even though it is might be a little more if you're in like an office environment talking about it or at a meeting or somewhere, it might be you're a little more guarded, you're not willing to laugh at some of these things, which can be comical, but
Yeah.
maybe in the right circumstance they're even more so.
Yeah, definitely. Oh yeah, it's all about, what did you say, the environment or whatever. You have to
Yeah.
take yourself out of your ordinary environment to like reflect.
Right. Right. Well, both music and comedy, they require vulnerability and, like you said, authenticity.
Mhm.
How do you manage those nerves or any stage fright when sharing such personal aspects of yourself in front of an audience? You even
I
get stage fright?
Oh no, I do. I
Okay.
used to more like in, again reflecting back, like in high school when I sang in choir, if I got a solo or something, like I was so nervous and I had to do a lot of healing. You're like, I don't believe it. No, but I I know I present like outwardly very confident. I know that, but internally, like I freak out a lot, and I'm still healing from a lot of anxiety. But I've just been doing it so consistently now that it feels natural to me, to the point where
Okay.
one time I got really sick, I thought, And I was confused about what to do. Like, do I rest? I feel like I have a fever. And I went out and I got on stage and I did some comedy and it went away. And so now it's like, I just keep getting these things that reaffirm that this is what I meant to do, that like I am a conduit for these things, that like in a way I'm a trailblazer. I think artists are, to be able to step into that vulnerability and authenticity. And so I still experience it, but it just dwindles over time because I just feel more confident about, what I'm doing. And then I just work hard at my skills, like going to an acting class or taking vocal lessons or just working a lot on my content. And so over time, it just gets easier.
That makes sense. I mean, yeah, repetition, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, I personally, I have no problem acting as a character and not being myself, right? I could do that as long as you want. No stage fright, nothing. Put me on stage where I have to be myself or read something that I've written myself.
Yeah.
I clam up. It's like the hardest thing, and I don't know why. Maybe I feel like if it's my own words or something like that, they're judging me. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. And I did when I first started comedy, I didn't go out as much. I would get stuck in these like little caves of self-destruction almost. Or I was just like, oh, I'm not ready, or like, like the
Right.
perfectionism that's inside a lot of us like got in my way a lot. Like, oh, I don't have anything to say. And it's really just about like getting out there and like using the fear to fuel it rather than letting it stop you. But I let it stop me over and over again, really. Yeah, no more.
But you've pushed through it, which is great. So what is your creative process like when you're writing songs or your comedy routines? Do they come to you like quickly, or is it like something that's like you start one day and then over time it just like eventually rounds itself out?
Hmm. When I have the time, it comes pretty quickly. Like that's the thing that blew my mind about songwriting. Like I said, like when I found the guitar, because I had been like, meaning to learn it for some time. Like back in college, I had a friend who even like bought me one and it felt natural back then, but then it was like in the closet. I don't know, it just clicked. Like I can't remember exactly when it was, but anyway, if I have a good few hours and I have my guitar and I sit down and I have an emotion or I have a chord pattern, like I can write a whole song in an hour. It just like flows.
Nice.
And there's something about the studying music and kind of internally knowing the structure where it just kind of plays out. And it doesn't always come out from beginning to end. Like in the beginning, I needed a whole day. Now I don't need as much time. But usually I think for one song, it takes like a week or two to kind of like, I have a day where I find the whole thing in one sitting, but then I play it out, I stretch it out, I find the bridge, I find where I need to extend the music or where I can add oohs and ahs, or if I need to shift the lyrics. But I had this belief when I first started, which I don't know if it's how true it is, but I had this belief that like every song that I meant to write is like already inside of me, that basically I'm like a sculptor and I'm like, all I need to do is just give myself the time to be able to sculpt away like whatever it is that's blocking the song from coming out. But it just feels like when I sit down and write a song, it's easy, it flows like, and so therefore I feel like it's just inside of me already. But I don't know about that anymore because I think that as I live and grow and change, like these songs that I'm writing now are about what I'm experiencing now or what I'm learning now. And so therefore, like they're not locked inside of some magical vault. It's just that like all of the skills that I have kind of combined together to be able to express what's happening like in this moment. Does that make sense?
I get you. Yeah, I got you. I mean, we do change throughout the years, so maybe what was trapped inside has now morphed into what you're experiencing now. So yeah, I get that. Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Which I guess leads right into my next question, would be, what has performing taught you about yourself? And have you discovered something unexpected through your experiences on stage?
Oh yeah, I think the biggest thing is just that I'm an artist. Like I identify as one.
Awesome.
It was really hard for me after, mostly after college, but even after high school to like when I started or taught high school for a while, and I just like I couldn't do it. Like I'm not mentally stable enough. I'm bipolar. And I have these weird dichotomies, and I don't know if it's being a Gemini. I know most people hear that word and they're like, "Oh, they're the craziest of them all." But I I don't know what it is, but it's like I need structure, but I also need freedom. And so I just discovered, yeah, who I am, what my tendencies are, like my limits. Like that story I told about going up on stage and then not feeling sick anymore was
Yeah.
so reaffirming for me. Like I feel like I am an artist. I am a conduit for these like life lessons that maybe other people are trying to learn, but they haven't quite figured out how to put it into words. I have
Mm-hmm.
a knack for putting things into words. I guess I think I always have.
That's awesome.
And yeah, and so therefore I guess like I discovered what my gifts are and really like what my purpose is, which sounds very like woo woo, but it just feels very true for me.
I mean,
um,
it,
yeah.
some people go their whole life without ever realizing that discovery about themselves
Yeah.
and their purpose and it's always that search for what am I here for, right? What am I
Yeah.
made for? Not to quote Barbie movie, but um,
Yeah.
it's so great that you were able to discover that's what makes you happy, and
Mhm.
that you realize that your gift of storytelling and wordsmith can help other people. So I think
Yeah.
that's very commendable and very wonderful to hear. And
Thank you.
um, so I'm going to ask you then to share some piece of advice for any of our listeners here who may feel stuck creatively or hesitant to share their art. What's one
Mm.
piece of advice you would offer to help them find their own voice?
Hmm. I think there's a couple like life lessons that I have been holding really near and dear to my heart that I think would help other artists. And one is to treat life like an adventure. Like you are exploring, like this is your opportunity to figure out who you are. So let yourself be curious, let yourself be in a state of questioning. If you're wondering about trying something, try it, find a way to learn something new. And then another life lesson is like give yourself permission to change your mind. And that kind of goes along with it. Like if you feel stuck in something, like don't be afraid to move on to something else. Don't be afraid to table something, even if you're
Absolutely.
like don't get so stuck in like one project or one pursuit that you ignore other things. Like I love music and that's my initial passion and I love songwriting, but I love comedy. And the fact that I discovered it by trying something new is amazing to me. And so I think that those are just really important. But the first thing that came to my mind was give yourself the time, like give yourself the gift of time. If you're like, I want to do these things, I want to do this project, I don't have time, create it, like carve it out. And I've done that. And that's why I talked about like not being able to be stuck in a 9 to 5 was so important for me. I had to, and it took years to get to a point where I had some kind of a schedule, where I had freedom, where I had to jump from one career to the next. And then I still shift. Like just recently, I cleared a whole day because I was just like, I feel that bubble up inside of me. I need time to write music, or I need time to be on set or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So and I think this is the last thing I'll say, but we tend to get into these mental blocks where we're just looking for problems, or we only see the problems. So it's like, oh yeah, Carmynn, like create time. How do I do that? You're starting to think of a list of all the stuff that you have to do. And it's like, let go of that for a second and put yourself in an opportunist mindset where you find it, where you tell yourself like that you can, like all of those positive like affirmations. Because if you do that, like your mind will look for the opportunity rather than looking for the problem. So that's a little bit of a mental health trick, but I just it's just True.
That is wonderful words of wisdom from Carmynn Bradley. That is awesome. So lastly, here at the Supportive Ambition, we want to know what's coming up next for you. Any exciting projects, collaborations, performances that you'd like our audience to know about?
Well, if you're here in Vegas on the 23rd, I'll be back at Bonfire with Ace Michaels, and I'll be hosting. So I'll be doing a lot of comedy and singing a couple songs, and that's just going to be really fun. We did that last month, so I'm really excited about that. And then my movie with you, Danny, should be coming out, I don't know, maybe in a year. I don't know how long movies take. They usually take a while. But I'm also going to be recording the songs that I'm out performing. Every Thursday of this month, I'm going to be at Hennessy's performing my original music. And I just talked to a music producer yesterday about getting all of that on Spotify. So
awesome.
People can actually listen to it. So that'll be out soon. That's been one of those things where I honestly have been stuck in like some kind of mental block about. And ask for help. People want to help you when you're doing what you are meant to do, and when you're shining in a way that people are like, I don't know, they see you, they'll help you. So I know that's like answering the second question. But anyway, yes, music will be out. I'm doing comedy out and about. So yeah, I don't know. Follow me, listen.
Awesome. And people can follow you. Where's the best place for them to follow you? Instagram or?
Instagram's the best. I mean, I'm on Facebook too. You can follow me on Facebook, but Instagram's the best. It's just my first name _ my last name.
Okay. I will make sure to link that in the show description. Thank you so much, Carmynn, for spending some time with us today to chat about your adventure so far. We really appreciate that, and we look forward to hearing and listening to more of your music and comedy and your artistic stylings.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
What the meaning of life is. So my best guess, I guess, is that it must be something pretty close to happiness.